It's the Ball Boys. We are back. The
We're
playoffs
back.
is
Yep.
back.
He's Ed. I'm Dave.
Dad, good to see you.
Good to see you.
What's been your favorite series so far?
Ooh, well, my Lakers had a horrible start to their series, but they kind of righted the ship the other night. So I don't know. There's a couple. I was looking at them just a couple of seconds ago, and there's three series that it's pretty much over. The OK series against Memphis, see ya. The Cleveland series against Miami, see ya.
Bye-bye.
And the what was the other one? What was the other one?
Boston and Orlando.
Yeah, and that's a kind of a dogfight.
Fuck off.
Boston's up 2-0, but that hasn't been easy, Eddie. So I don't know. There was one other one that you could write off, but there's a bunch.
Indiana and Milwaukee.
There you go. Yeah, that series is done. So, but there's a couple of really good series like Detroit. I think the one that interests me the most are the Knicks and the Pistons. They hate each other, so that's really fun.
And the fun thing about the Knicks and Pistons, which unfortunately, by the way, I should just preface and say we're doing this on Thursday afternoon. There are a couple games tonight, so we're going to do our best to kind of avoid those series as much as possible. Unfortunately, the Pistons Knicks is one of those games.
Yeah.
So we're going to hold off too much talking big picture because obviously by the time this comes out, that series will change. Someone will be up to one. We have no way of knowing. But I will say this: the Pistons, they're in a good spot right now because other than that complete collapse in the fourth quarter in Game 1, which by the way, Jamie Bickerstaff, it's called a timeout, brother. I mean, sorry, it's a playoff game. I mean, when they go, if the run's getting to like 10-0. You got to call a timeout. Hello. I couldn't believe it. And he's just letting them play through it. I was just kind of I think he did call one timeout at some point, but you got to be able to sense, you're not even 10. When it's a 6-0 run, let's get a timeout right now and settle my young team down. So that was ugly. Having said that, I think Detroit's outplayed them in 7 of the 8 quarters.
Absolutely. They've totally outplayed them. They should be up 2-0. To be honest with you.
Going back to an arena that's going to be absolutely rocking.
Right. And if they take Game 3, the Knicks are in serious trouble.
I think they're in trouble in general. But again, we'll see what happens in Game 3. I want to start with the Lakers.
Okay.
Lakers T-Wolves, because I think that series is really intriguing.
Yeah.
I think it's two teams that are both really talented. I think it's
flawed. Seriously flawed.
Yes, I agree. That's a good point. Flawed but talented. I think it's going to go 7. I still think the Lakers are going to win in 7.
Yep.
But if you said that the T-Wolves are going to win the series, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. I mean, I predicted when you and I were Ross and we're texting back and forth. I said Lakers in 6, and I think that's probably realistic. But the way Minnesota handled them in Game 1, oh boy, that was ugly. And so I don't know. It's definitely going to be a long series, that's for sure, 6 or 7. And I do think the Lakers are going to win just because of the talent of Luka and LeBron. Now Ant-Man is just amazing player. He's incredible, Eddie. He really is. He reminds me of a young LeBron in many ways, ironically.
I think he reminds me a little bit more of young Kobe, to be honest.
Yeah, he's got that Kobe in him too, right?
And his game aesthetically. But I know what your point. He's on the ascent. But to me, I think this series is in a lot of ways a classic which teams role players hit more shots kind of series.
And I was going to say it's a classic defense versus offense. The Lakers are, I think, more skilled offensively, and the T-Wolves are more skilled defensively. So I think whichever team imposes their will might win.
Yeah, I agree on some levels, but I just think that look, in Game 1 the T-Wolves couldn't miss. McDaniels was great. Conley hit some shots. In Game 2 it was the total opposite. They didn't McDaniels had 0. He had 6 points from McDaniels. Naz Reid only had 9 off the bench. DiVincenzo did nothing. 0 points for Conley. He was really bad in that game. So, those T-Wolves role players. And I think with Edwards, you're absolutely right. But he still sometimes comes across as a young budding star in these series. And, I was actually thinking of Kobe because it took Kobe until basically 2008 to figure out that last half gear in his game.
Yep.
Was yes, I can get 40 whenever I want, but how can I use the gravity that my game creates to
to benefit the team.
To elevate everybody around me so they could help me win a championship. And
Right.
Edwards, 0 assists in game 2.
Right.
And I just think his that was a real opportunity for them to kind of put their foot on their throat.
Yep.
They didn't take advantage. And I thought the playmaking, and you could see it, the T-Wolves, they didn't get the same open looks they were in game 1.
Well, that's partly also to the Lakers' adjustments, right?
For sure. And the Lakers defense was a lot better in game 2. I thought on the Lakers side, Luka was fantastic, 31, 12, and 9. I mean, and it's just, every play, they're just attacking Gobert. It's just every play. It's like, get Luka the ball and just get him in a pick and roll and go at Gobert or Conley every single time. LeBron has been way more of a Robin to his Batman, which has been interesting to see, but he still is able to pick his spots. I think he's competing on defense. He's rebounding, which is huge because they've pretty much, JJ's realized, like, I can't really play Jackson Hayes. I got Luka, Reeves, and LeBron. I got Finney-Smith and Rui, and then Gabe Vincent off the bench, and that's pretty much it.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, Jackson Hayes played, I think, 9 minutes or something.
Right. Like he's unplayable. And so they don't have a center, which
they don't.
Look, after the Mark Williams trade fell through, we all knew that this was coming.
Yeah. That was the piece. The Williams piece was the one that they were missing to put them in a championship level. And since they didn't get that, you're right. That's their fatal flaws. They don't have a center.
They're so clearly a guy short in up front, like you just said. Having said that, in this particular series, like I said, I think it's you know what you're getting from Luka, you know what you're getting from LeBron, you know what you're getting from Ant and Randall. Randall.
Randall.
He's been really good actually so far.
Yeah, he has. I've been surprised.
He's just a physical offensive player, man. And the Lakers don't have any size, and he's just kind of like the bully ball thing. Now, what I will say this for the Lakers, like Luka was 11 of 11 from the line in game 2. I just think when it comes down to it, as we get deeper in the series, especially like a potential game 7 at home, the Lakers are just so hard to officiate because Luka and LeBron are just both have the ball so much, and they're both such physical players, and like they're not like they use their bodies in such genius ways, and so I just think that will play out in the Lakers' favor. But like I said, it's going to come down to it's like the trio of Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Rui. Can they outplay McDaniels, Dante DiVincenzo, and whoever, Mike Conley or
and my
whatever?
Answer is yes, they can.
And Naz Reid. I mean, I think if they do, then that's going to make the difference.
Yeah.
So you're still going Lakers in 6? I got the Lakers in 7.
Okay, I'm sticking with Lakers in 6.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
The other series in the West I did want to touch on is the Rockets Warriors because man, is that series
that's another series that they hate each other.
Oh, that series is a bloodbath.
I know.
That game last night, I mean, like I thought there was going to be a fight in the first quarter.
It was nasty.
It was a nasty game.
Yeah.
It was a fun game.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a well-played game, but it was a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Jalen Green is just he's looking really good.
Well,
so is Steph. On the other side, so is Steph. I mean, he's just like amazing.
Jalen Green is he's a 13-31 guy, Dad. Like he's in game 1, he was awful. This is what he's been so far. Like you see the flashes of what it can be. And then in game 3, he might be 5 for 17 with 12 points. Like it's just so he was fantastic in game 2.
Yeah. As
was Houston. And as they should have been. They came out with I don't think they were ready to play in game 1.
No.
They had a much better game in game 2. They handled the physicality much better.
And they played great defense.
Yeah, their defense and it just like they're so deep and young and talented. Like they just come at you in waves. It's like all of a sudden it's midway through the second and it's like, oh shit, Tari Eason's coming in. Yeah. You know? Like I just think they got a ton of talent, obviously.
Oh God, yeah.
So if you're Golden State, I think and obviously we kind of buried the lead. Jimmy Butler gets hurt last night. Has an awkward fall, hurts his back. He didn't return. He left early in the second quarter, didn't return. Pajemski had the flu. So that game, it just kind of got away from Golden State. The Rockets came out with more energy, and they packed it in pretty early. Steve Kerr was playing guys that he was not expecting to be playing last night because of the injuries. So it happens, and they'll regroup. But where do you stand on this series? Because I think a lot of it obviously hinges on Jimmy Butler's health.
Yes, absolutely. Gosh, I'm trying to remember who I picked in this series. I think I might have picked Houston.
I picked Houston. I think you
Yeah,
might have picked the
I
Warriors.
think I
Who
picked.
cares? Who cares?
Yeah, I think I picked Houston, but I just like Houston because of their youth, their enthusiasm, their. I love the way I love their transition game. They score a lot off their defense and off their steals and turnovers. So I mean, I like all those guys that you mentioned on on Houston, and I'm not a big fan. I love Steph, but I'm not a big fan of Golden State. I love Steve Kerr as a coach, always, always, always. He's one of my favorite coaches. I like Draymond. He's a solid guy. I mean, when they were winning championships, I loved the Golden State Warriors. I really did, and especially when they played LeBron and the Cavs. But I really respected that run, and I mean when they won what 72 games or 74 games or something,
73.
73,
Mhm.
like that's historical. I mean that's historical. They were a truly great dynasty, and so but again, all dynasties, as we know with the Lakers, come to an end, and I think that's what we're seeing in Golden State over the last couple of years. They haven't been great, and
I mean, they did win a title in 2022. That
yeah,
was
but
3 years ago.
okay, but since then there's been slippage, right? So I mean, oh yeah, Golden State. Like I say, I've loved Golden State for many years, and but this in the last year and a half, I don't know.
Okay,
There's
okay,
two
but
guys on.
okay, yeah, fair enough. But like, let's I'm,
They're getting old and creaky. They're old and creaky, and they're
but do you think they're going to win this series?
no, they're not going to win
You
this
don't
series.
think they're going to win this series?
No, Houston's going to win this series. They're because they're young and they're hungrier, and I think
Oh, there
this
you go. They're hungry. We got a
they're
hungry.
hungry. There you go.
Oh, they haven't eaten.
They haven't eaten.
No, they're hungry. Jimmy Butler, game time decision, pelvis
Mm,
injury. If he's hurt, I think it's obviously or
yeah,
compromised. I think they're in big trouble. The biggest thing in game two for me for Houston was you just noticed, like I said, the depth or the lack thereof for Golden State, where it was
mm,
just all of a sudden you're getting into Quentin Post playing minutes. Like I mean,
yeah.
the Santos is playing big minutes, and it's just Houston has way more talent and depth. Clearly, having
Mhm.
said that, if Jimmy can come back and play, at a somewhat high level, if you're Golden State, you're thinking, all right, look, it's 1-1. We're going back to San Francisco. We got 3 games at home to close out this series, and Houston's young. Who knows if it'll be a different story, right?
It'll be interesting. I think whoever wins game three, that might tip the series.
Well, I mean, that's not a profound thing to say, but but I do agree with you. But again, right? If you're Golden State, game two, flush it. It got away from us. Jimmy got
Hmm.
hurt. Pajemski was sick, so we basically were down 2 starters.
Hmm.
If Jimmy can come back at some point, if Pajemski comes back to being himself, then because he had a nasty flu yesterday, they were talking
Yeah.
about it. Like he tried to play, but he basically couldn't play. And so they were down 2 starters, and you're going, look, we still have Steph. We're going back home for 3 of the next 5. And Houston's young. We'll see. Jalen Green, you can't bank on him going for 30 every game, like I mentioned. Like he's just not going to be that. If the numbers are what they are, if you trust
Yeah.
the numbers, Jalen Green will have a couple more bad games in the series.
Yeah.
He just does that.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm going with my kids
I'm
on
still
Houston.
picking Houston too. I'm just
Yeah.
making the case if you're Golden State, right? Like it's 1-1.
Mm.
They're going back. They got the win they needed. I don't know. We'll see. And again, I mean, like Steph, is a guy we haven't mentioned yet, but like some of the shots he was hitting in that game one, like
I
I
know.
mean, he can go for 50. He can still reach back and do that
Yep.
whenever and win you a game. So there's
I mean,
that factor.
he's just the most amazing shooter, and I mean, he and Luca. Like I was looking at some of the Luca shots the other night. Oh my God, some of the just like on 1 foot, like oh my God, over some big tall guy. Like it's
Luca's impressive in a different way because it's just his size,
yeah,
and it's almost Dirk reminiscent. It's like Dirk with ball handling skills,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But
It's crazy.
Steph is just like the
That was
amount, the
just,
movement,
he's the best pure shooter ever in the game. I
but
think
like the
ever.
way he moves, and I mean, any great shooter in history. I mean, Ray Allen, Rip
Mhm.
Hamilton, Reggie Miller, like
Yep.
any great shooter, what was always great at moving without the basketball. It's
Yep.
just it comes with it.
Yeah.
Like I remember Rip
It's like a
Hamilton.
wide receiver in football running a route.
Right. And like Rip Hamilton, I would never put on that level, but I would say that
No.
in terms of this in turn, like we always used to be impressed by the fact that Rip Hamilton never stopped moving on offense. He was so difficult to guard because he was just constantly coming off actions, coming off screens, running around,
Yeah.
never standing and waiting.
He never stood still.
No, and Steph is really like he plays the game that way,
Yeah.
right? And it's just so impressive to watch. I still got Houston. I picked them going in. I'm still going Houston in 7, but it'll depend on Jimmy. But yeah,
let's change the subject for a second and talk about another interesting series in the West that is tied 1-1, the Clips and the Nugs.
Okay, well, okay, can you hold that one just a bit? Because the Clips and Nugs, I really want to talk about this series, but they're playing tonight.
Oh, okay, but well, let's quickly just
talk about what you've seen so far.
All right, so what I've seen so far is the series is tied 1-1, but the Clippers have outplayed them in both games. They should be up 2-0.
Agreed.
And I'm telling you, Eddie, Kawhi Leonard, this is like 2019 Kawhi that we're watching right now. Maybe not totally, but it's as close to 2019 as I've ever seen in recent years, and he looks unstoppable.
He looks unstoppable. And I think, Dad, going into the playoffs, I had the Clippers beating OKC and making it to the conference finals. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but they're really fucking scary, man. Kawhi in game 2 was 15 for 19 from the field.
Yeah.
15 for 19?
Yeah.
Dad, he shot 75% from the field. Like that efficiency, he had 39 points.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, and you watch it, and it's just real. It's way too easy, man. Like
it's effortless.
He's just like, two dribbles.
He just
put my body into you. Step back, mid-range jumper, boom. Post up, 2 dribbles, spin move, fade away on the baseline, boom. Like it's just like because his shoulders are so strong.
Yeah.
When he hits you, it creates that space.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like as a defender, you're getting hit in the chest. You can't jump and recover in time to contest.
Right.
He grounds the defense. It's real. It's stuff that Kobe and MJ did. It's really not that hard. It's just footwork and using your body to create space. It's just an offensive clinic, and just rising up, and he's just automatic from 15 feet
anywhere.
Right, and we saw it, dude. Like we watched it firsthand, and it was it's just like when you have a guy like that can get any shot he wants. It's just it makes obviously it makes your life so as a coach you're just like fuck.
Yeah, I mean and plus he's doing great stuff with Zubac on the pick and roll.
Zubac has been amazing so far. James Harden has showed up. Yep. They play defense. You're right. It's like Denver stole that game 1.
Yeah, they did.
And the Clippers fucked it up. And I think they're going to win tonight in game 2.
I do as well.
Sorry, game 3.
They're back in LA.
Yeah, and I think that we'll see what happens. And look, I hate going against Jokic because he's an amazing player, but I just think the Clippers are a better team.
I do too. I agree.
But let's hold that. We'll see what happens tonight. I do want to touch on OKC, who's also playing tonight. Now, their whole thing with Memphis, is this more that Memphis has looked bad for you, or it's that OKC looks unbelievably great?
It's a combination of both. So I don't think OKC is as great as they're looking, and I don't think Memphis is as bad as they've been.
I'll push back on that second part, but go ahead.
Well, they have been back. They have been horrible. But I don't think OKC's been challenged that much in this. I mean, again, we were talking about effortless things. It looks effortless for the whole team. The thing that is a bit concerning to me is Shea hasn't really done Shea things yet.
And they're winning by 50.
And they're winning, so that's an area of interest and concern for me. But other than that, that team looks unbeatable, Eddie.
Dad, I mean, they're defensively, they just swallow you up. I mean, it's just, and when they play with Hardenstein and
Chet?
I mean, good luck trying to, and with Lou Dort and J-Dub on the perimeter. Yeah. My God, good luck trying to score. They're one of the best defensive teams I've ever seen.
Oh my God, they're a total team, Eddie.
They've been fantastic, and you're right. They're not even trying. They're not even breaking a sweat against this.
No, they're not.
They're playing tonight. Who knows? Maybe the Grizz
and 30. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Maybe the Grizz come out with a better effort tonight, but I don't see it, man. In fact, I know I said going in that I zigged when everybody zagged, and I took the Clippers to beat them in the second round. Nobody in the West is beating OKC. I think the only team that could beat them is the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
if they're healthy.
Yeah.
But
Now
other than that, I don't see anybody. I don't see this team losing. I
good
really don't.
transition, Eddie. So let's go to Boston.
Hey, hold on. Can I just give you a second on the Memphis Grizzlies?
Yeah. Okay.
It's been pretty gross. Like the lack of effort. It's a team that, I'm sorry, but like they've been talking a lot of shit for years. And it's like, and people have been talking about it on podcasts I've been listening to, but it's a good point. The fans and the media down there, they all talk, well, we were the 2 seed 2 years ago. We were and then everybody got hurt. We lost to the Lakers. Okay, whatever. And even this year, it's like, well, in December, don't remember, 4 months ago, we were the 2 seed. It's like, fucking congratulations, like for your 2 seed mania. I mean, who cares? The fact is, right now, as we stand, this team has got a lot of soul searching to do this summer. They fired their coach.
Yeah.
With 2 weeks left to go in the playoffs.
They fired Taylor Jenkins. So like, what the fuck?
And they're locked into this core of Bane, Morant, and Jaren Jackson. And it's pretty clear that they are nowhere close to the best teams in the Western Conference. Nowhere close.
Hey, I love JJJ. I mean, I love that dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine, But I mean, look, John Morant, I'm sorry, but he hasn't gotten better since that breakout season. Yeah. He's hurt all the time. And
he's got this bad boy.
Well, sure. And you're sure. And I was going to say, you can point to some of the off the court stuff and whether or not that's impacted him. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't.
I think it has.
But I mean, even the on the court stuff, I mean, he still can't shoot.
No.
And teams have figured him out where it's like,
if you stop him driving,
go ahead.
A jump shooter, go ahead.
Exactly. Go be my guest, buddy. And he'll pull up, he'll hit the first one, you dance around, and then miss the next 4.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I just think, I think that they need to look in the mirror.
I have one positive thing about the Memphis Grizzlies is I like Edie's play. I think he's for a rookie in the playoffs for the first time. He's playing well.
But do you ever see him being anything more than a rotation guy?
I don't know. You know what? My answer to that is I'd like to see him play significant minutes, meaningful minutes for Team Canada in international play, and see how he handles the pressure and the responsibility, and see what he can do. And if he does okay in that, yes, then I can see him being a very solid center. Otherwise, yeah, he's probably a role player. But
I just with how big.
But give the guy give the guy a chance. Like give the guy.
I'm not saying that. I worry that he might turn into a little bit of like a gimmick as opposed to a reliable everyday center.
Who was the Canadian dude on Cleveland that was number 1?
Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett, yeah. Oh, man. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to flame out like Anthony Bennett.
No, of course not. But I mean, totally different circumstance.
I think he's going to have a solid NBA career. But it's
I do too. But I'm more talking in the context of the Memphis Grizzlies. Like, is he going to save you? Right? Like, I don't know.
Not now. But
well,
years down the road, maybe.
I'll give the organization some credit, and I can't believe we're talking about Memphis this much, but I'll give them some credit because I do think they actually do a good job on the margins. Like Aldama. I mean, they plucked Bane. They plucked Bane out of obscurity. Like time and time again, they find these talented guys and good player development. I mean, Pippen is another good story.
Yes,
right? So I do think that they do a good job with a lot of these guys, but I just I'm sorry, but this team does not have it, and they gotta face facts.
Yep.
Can I end with a stat for you from the Memphis Grizzlies?
Sure.
Can you guess what the combined plus minus of John Morant and Desmond Bane was through games 1 and 2?
God,
I'll tell you.
All right.
So the combined plus minus in games 1 and 2 between Morant and Desmond Bane, minus 87. Gonna go out on a limb and say that's not what you want from your starting backcourt. So anyway, yeah, they stink.
Holy crap.
They stink. This is a mismatch. I don't think they're going to win a game. I can confidently say, look, if this comes out and they win game 3 tonight, then we look like idiots. So be it.
Yeah.
But the Memphis Grizzlies, this is a mismatch.
They're baked.
I mean, you just look, when I turned on game 2, right, I kind of thought, okay, after losing by 50, I at least expect the Grizz to come out and throw a punch in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Go on, start it with a 14-6 run and at least make OKC call a fucking timeout. No, within seconds. It was like literally 90 seconds in. and it was like 11-2. I was like, okay, I'm switching games. This is over.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need to see anything else here.
No, no.
They stink. OKC's great, and I
Yeah,
think they're going to win the West.
yeah, I do too. Okay, so let's move over to the East. Boston, Boston and Orlando.
Yeah, we can speed up a bit here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, give me your thoughts.
Okay, well, again, this is a series that's 2-0, but it shouldn't be 2-0. It should be 1-0, 1-1, in my opinion. I think Orlando deserved to win a game, and they're giving them all they can give them. Like Boston hasn't looked great. I'll put it that way. Okay, they haven't looked fantastic, and I don't know how long Tatum's going to be out, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Look, they won game one by 17 points. They held
yeah,
Orlando to 86. Won game two by 9 without their best player. And it really, did you ever really feel like the Celtics were going to lose that game?
no, no, but I was hoping for Orlando a little bit. I hate.
Tatum didn't even play. Okay. Tatum didn't play in game
I
two.
know, I
And they're
know.
able to just say, oh, you know what we can do? We're going to start Kristaps Porzingis and play through him in the first quarter.
Right.
And he had shot 14 free throws. He had 20 and 10 last night. I mean, it's just like
Oh, I know. And Derek White was magnificent.
Drew Holiday. It looks way healthier. It looks like
Yeah.
he's turned it up a notch for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're seeing on that one, honestly, but I think that's a sweep. Look,
Well, maybe. Yeah.
if Orlando was going to win a game, it was going to be when they sat Jason Tatum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put it this way, and I think if that was a finals game, Jason Tatum would have played.
Yeah.
But Missoula's comfortable enough to say,
Yeah.
take game two off. We still got this.
Yeah. Yeah. You might be right. I mean, yeah, they're.
He
I
just hit
think
so many threes.
I still think Boston's coming out of the East. I'm not saying they're. It's just that it looks like Orlando has agitated them a bit.
Yeah, look, Orlando's a good defensive team. They
Yeah,
just
they
can't
are.
score. Like,
No,
I'm
they
sorry. Offensively, it's just Banchero's a great player, but there's not
Yeah.
nearly enough around him. And
No.
that's what it comes like they can't score with a team like Boston who just hits a million 3-pointers, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like you look at game I'm just pulling up the stats here. For game so they were only 12 for 37 in game two. So that's the thing about Boston. They rely heavily on the three.
Yeah.
So when they miss shots, that's your chance to beat them. But it's just even a bad shooting night for Boston, they still hit 5 more threes than Orlando did. And it's just that variance, it's just so hard to make up. Right. And what do you know? The Celtics win by 9 points. Right. So it's just the volume in which they shoot, the amount of spacing they have, and the shots that they get combined with their elite defense on the perimeter
Yeah.
and their rim protection.
They have
They're just a complete team.
Yeah, they are. They're a complete team, just like OKC. So that's who I'm hoping will meet, and we've said that many times. So they're still coming out of the East in my mind.
Yeah, and I mean, Cleveland and Miami. Cleveland's really fucking good. Miami
my
actually
God.
gave them a scare in that game too. I was
Yeah.
surprised. They cut it to
Yeah.
2, but again, I never felt like Cleveland was losing.
No,
Again,
they're a
just
really,
look-
really, really great team. I don't think they're a championship team. I just don't trust them for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know,
Something
man. I think if you told me the Cavs were going to win the title this year, I would not be surprised. I think they're the third best team in the league. They might even be the second best team in the league right now. And just quickly, they're very similar to Boston. They shoot a lot of threes. They play great defense, and they have 2 creators that can, score.
And they got great shot blocking. I mean, Mobley's fantastic.
Yeah, totally. They have great interior defense. They shoot a shitload of threes. It's
Yeah.
similar to Boston, and they just have the luxury. Like it's the Celtics, the same thing with Pritchard. Like
Yeah.
they bring Pritchard in the second quarter, and it's like, oh,
Boom, boom, boom.
here's a guy that can score 15 points in 5 minutes. When you have a guy like that, an elite scorer off the bench that can shift the flow of a game, it's such a luxury, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Vinny Johnson was the original one.
Yep.
Right? Like if you have a
Right.
guy that can just come in and pop off and just like score for 15 minutes.
Yep.
Like Jamal Crawford was a great player doing in that role for years.
Yep.
There's been some good ones,
Mm-hmm.
but the Cavs have it with Ty Jerome. It's the same thing where it's like, oh, your starters are tired. Here's a guy who's going to come in and absolutely cook you for 5 minutes, and then we're going to bring Garland and Mitchell back in, and it's
Yeah.
just like, fuck.
Yeah.
What do we do
Yeah.
with this? It's.
I know they're a tough out. They definitely will be a tough out. And what's left in the East? Oh yeah, Milwaukee and Indiana. I think like, as we said earlier, I think that series is over. Indiana's up 2-0. Maybe Milwaukee wins a game, but I don't know. They look old and creaky.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'd love to talk more about the Pistons Knicks, but again, they're playing
Yeah.
tonight. We touched on that off the top, so let's leave that one till next time, and we'll do a deep dive on the Pistons next because I'm intrigued what happens in that game 3. But yeah, on Pacers Bucks.
Yeah, just very quickly about that. That's my favorite matchup of the whole
I do
playoffs.
too.
Actually, those teams hate each other. I want to see I want to see games so bad. I'm still pulling for my Knicksies, but the Pistons are a really tough team, man. So I don't know. It's going to be a fun series.
Going back to Milwaukee, Indiana, it's just Giannis just doesn't have any help, man. And I know
No,
Dame tried to play; he's gutting it out. He's not ready, and they just don't have enough around him. The
no, the
Pacers are a
rest of
better
the team is
team.
shitty.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
would
make
not
you
be
real.
surprised. I'm just tossing this out, but I would not be surprised
If we go, I knew you were gonna go here.
if Giannis walks.
He can't walk. Well, I
Yes,
mean,
he
I guess
can.
he can. Yeah, he can demand a
He can
trade.
opt. He can opt out of his contract anytime he
No,
wants.
you can't opt. You can't opt. That's not how it works. You can't just opt out of your contract.
Well, then you go to management and you
Yeah,
say, I
that's
want to
what.
go to Toronto.
Yeah, well,
Play
I don't
with
think
my
it'd be that
uncle.
or Miami, right? That's what he'll do. He'll go to management. He'll say, "Trade me."
Yeah, trade
I'm
me to
not.
Toronto. I want to play with my uncle.
No, he's not coming to the Raptors, man. There's no fucking chance
I
that
bet you
Giannis
he
ever
will.
comes
Okay,
here.
I'm going to bet money on this.
You know what? You'd be broke if you've been doing that for the last 10 years. Because you've been on this since 2016, and it's never gonna fucking happen, man. If he goes, why would you want? Why? What do the Raptors have to offer? They're a shitty ass team.
No, I don't know. It's
Higher
wishful
taxes,
thinking.
shitty team. No, sorry.
I
I'm
can
sorry.
dream it, right?
It's never going to happen.
It might happen.
It's never going to happen. If he demands a trade, he'll say, "Send me to Dallas or send me to
Okay,
Houston."
if the Raptors get somehow miraculously get Cooper Flag in the draft, then they could say to Milwaukee, "Hey, listen, you want Cooper?
Well, no, I think at that point, then you trade Scotty.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
You say, "We'll give you Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, and whatever picks you want."
Yeah, yeah,
We'll see. But they're toast in this series.
yeah,
Indiana's a
yeah.
better team.
Yep,
Uh,
I agree.
I got one more stat for you. Kyle Kuzma in game 1, getting some cardio, as they say. 21 minutes, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from the free throw line, no steals, no blocks, no turnovers. That's good. And 2 personal fouls.
Oh, he could have been a perfect O.
He had 4 rebounds. Oh, no, he didn't even have a rebound. No rebounds. Yeah. And he was a minus 24.
So if he hadn't got those 2 fouls, he would have been a 0 in every single.
Well, no, he did get put up 5 shots. So
Oh,
I guess
okay,
and 2 free throws. So he was technically on the stat sheet.
right.
Wow.
Wow.
What a stinky, stinky play.
Oh my God, that's one of the worst lines ever.
It's got to be.
Oh my God.
For a starter
Yeah.
in a playoff game?
That game has gone downhill, man. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, the Bucks are in for a summer because they're about to lose in the first round.
Yep.
So, all right, let's wrap this up. We've been going way too long. Finals updated. Are you still OKC over Boston?
Did I say Boston?
I don't even remember. I know who I know who
I've
picked.
I've said Boston over OKC, but I'm waffling on that.
I had Boston over the Lakers, so I'll stick to it for now.
I'm going to say Boston over OKC. So, but it might be OKC over Boston. I don't. Anyway, that's
Yeah,
where
we'll
we are now.
I still owe you a movie review on Hoosiers. We're going to do that at some point.
All right.
All right. See you, Dad.
All right.